Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. And when you're alone, do you say my name or you say her name? Yeah. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there
The truth is so hard to find. With all the things that's going on, I lost track, I felt so strong. I got you on my mind, but something's been done wrong. Sometimes I've been thinking of what to make of me and my memories. Sometimes I've been thinking of, dreaming of what it could have been besides memories. 'Cause I said
there might be times when this resembles attack B defence. Straight away, Lacazette, what a shot! Cracked back off the post. Wow, that was a turbocharged effort from the French striker.
Well, it's a dangerous game. Brighton are playing very deep, but look at this for a strike. Thunders that in. Sanchez just can't follow up. Beautiful strike.
With a short backlift as well, that was something. 4 goals in 3 Premier League games already in this stadium.
He's very much a ruthless type finisher, there's no doubt. Very different to Giroud, of course. Giroud keeping him out of the national French team. Of course, they got internationals coming up, but Lacazette really announced himself well at Arsenal so far. I just feel that Brighton, though, they've got to press the ball higher. They've got to have that threat. We talked about West Bromwich Albion. They had that on the break, but they didn't play quite as deep as this.
Sanchez going down. He's still waiting to score his first Premier League goal of the season.
Just gets caught there, doesn't he? They're very much aware of Sanchez and what he can do. I think it's difficult when you've been a championship player. You come up into the Premier League and you need that good performance. They've been good at home, Brighton, but not away from home.
Too long for Bellerin, that one. This is worth another look. This is some hit from Alexander Lacazette.
Well, it's the confidence as well. He's a long way out. Why not? Try one. Can't stop scoring here.
I think that post is still shaking. Tracker rather mistimed his effort. Izquierdo lays it inside, and here's Izzy Brown. Given away that time by David Pröfer in midfield. Can't afford to be doing that, and everybody having to funnel back quickly here for Brighton to get back in shape. They're not all back yet either, and here's Xhaka. Bellerin to Holding. That's the nod today with Koscielny out with an Achilles injury. Here's Aaron Ramsey. Support here for Brighton. Everybody who could get a ticket has got one. There'll be plenty who were disappointed as well. Monreal has been terrific recently for Arsenal, including a great clearance off the line the other day. Lacazette on towards Iwobi. Tough tackling in that defence. Yellow shirts everywhere.
Just interesting. Pröfer lost that ball about 50 passes ago, and that's the difference. You've been in the Championship, you come to the Premier League, you've got to take care of the ball, certainly when you come to the Emirates.
Brighton do get a free kick.
Mustafi there, playing in the central role. He's played 8-9 different combinations in that back three, and Mustafi looks more comfortable, certainly in the middle.
Dunk and Duffy, the central defenders, have come forward for this free kick to be taken by Pascal Gross. Flicked on by Brown.
Well, it's a dangerous ball in, but it's the first man not doing his job in the Arsenal defence there. As you can see, Brown gets in front of him. I think it's Xhaka. Should be the spare man.
Pascal Brown, who made his Premier League debut when he was just 16 years of age.
So many Chelsea players out on loan now around the place.
Sanchez, tight turning circle, typical of him. Iwobi, lovely ball. Bayerine. Great work by Dunk there, making his 200th appearance for Brighton in the centre of that defence.
Does well, doesn't he, Dunk? Lacazette trying to get across the face of him. Good little ball there from Iwobi. Good defending.
Disconnecting Bong. Left back brought into the side today for a Premier League debut in place of Marcus Suttner. One of the surprises in Chris Hughton's line-up here. He did play in the World Cup for Cameroon back in 2010. Xhaka to feed it wide. Kolasinac inside to Sanchez. Ramsey was on the move there, trying to get into the gap between the central defenders. Never quite got to him. Now Iwobi. Arsenal unbeaten in their last 31 games against newly promoted sides. Xhaka invited to shoot and does so, charged down by Dale Stephens.
Interesting, Wenger saying they're now a new team since that disaster against Liverpool, and I think Iwobi, with no Ozil now involved, Kolasinac on that left-hand side, they look really strong. There's a better balance certainly to the Arsenal team at the moment.
Sanchez, not frightened to have a pop from long range, clearly.
Expect the keeper to save that. Just testing him, giving him lots of space.
And Matt Ryan behind it. We have Tim Krul on the books now, but Ryan remains the number one. Happy with the header forward. Here's Bong. Izquierdo has got some pace, the Colombian. First time he started in the Premier League today.
Not seen much of him in possession. It's about doing a job for his team, getting back into shape. Definitely got pace.
Too long from Ramsey.
Ramsey as a player now is going to get a lot more of a pivotal role now that Ozil doesn't play.
Martin, how does a noon kickoff affect the players' preparations? You've got to be up with the lark, haven't you?
Well, you certainly have, and providing memories of going into the canteen. Spaghetti bolognese at 8 o'clock in the morning didn't go down well with me, put it that way. Wenger was very insistent that you stuck to the routine and ate the same food.
Spag bowl at 8 a.m.
Certainly, yeah. A piece of toast was good enough for me. Cup of tea.
You weren't force-fed it then?
No, it felt like that. Just the smell of it going into the canteen was enough.
Footballers are creatures of habit. It does create one or two difficulties. Kolasinac towards Sanchez.
No, that was part of the revolution from Wenger, wasn't it? The diet and the supplements and stretching, and all of it made you feel like Superman. You weren't sure which one of it did you need to drop. So he did everything.
You know, players like Lee Dixon and Tony Adams said it extended their careers, all of that.
Oh, for sure, there's no doubt.
Ramsey. Maybe Mohamed Al-Neni, who played against West Brom and played very well the other night, will feel himself a little unlucky to be left out. Here's Kolasinac. Won't get to that one. He's become a bit of a cult hero already with the Arsenal supporters.
It's because he's a man in the team. There's a determination in his play, and maybe it's the hallmark of all the new signings that are going to come now, a bit tougher. But he won't give up on this. Slips at the end of it, but he's a willing runner.
So he's pretty sure-footed as an Arsenal player until that moment.
Yes.
Scored on his debut in the Community Shield against Chelsea as well.
You get the feeling he's here to make things happen, to make his mark at a football club. That's what you're here for, you know, make something happen. Make sure they remember you when you leave. Because one day everyone leaves, even the great Sir Arsene Wenger will have to leave one day.
Sure?
No, I'm not completely sure, but he's certainly not at the beginning of his Arsenal career.
Here's Monreal now for Arsenal into Granit Xhaka. Now Rob Holding. All a little bit tight. Very tigerish. Good concentration. Well drilled. Brighton. Manchester City took a long time to break them down, remember, on the opening day, and they haven't conceded more than 2 in any match yet.
Just in their pong as well. He wants to play, he doesn't panic. You can see he's an international. Big game for him coming in here.
Flicked on by Brown.
I was wondering why no one's making that run from deep.
Brighton fans making plenty of noise, all in their blue and white striped shirts, though the team are wearing a chain strip today, presumably for commercial reasons. There's no clash.
It's the way the game is these days, I'm afraid. Expensive for the fans.
Mustafi to Holding. Those are the only 2 players who travelled to Belarus in midweek, where Arsenal won again in the Europa League. Monreal's looking for a 1-2. Ramsey. Bellerin, all very tight in there. It's going to take a little bit of magic or invention from somebody, and of course Arsenal do have 1 or 2 players who possess those qualities.
They do, but Brighton very compact. They've done their homework here. Iwobi is going very central. Width being created by Bellerin.
Iwobi going to change the pace of the attack. It's gone straight back to Iwobi. They didn't get it clear that time. Oh, and Iwobi with the final effort.
Nice intricate football there. Iwobi just needs a little bit more on the finish.
Ramsey. Here's Davy Pröpper. And from PSV Eindhoven, he played in the Champions League for them, including a win over Manchester United. And he's currently in the Netherlands side as well. They use him a bit further forward as a number 10. He was referred to Wesley Sneijder for the last game and scored 2.
Well, it's about getting quality players into the group, isn't it? Slowly but surely for Chrissy Hilton. He's one of them.
Stevens picks out Gross. Here's Bong. Brighton line 14th at the start of play. If they won here and caused a big shock, they'd be in the top half.
Sometimes, you know, I think this mentality, Gross has received that ball in a good position, then goes straight back. You've got to punish and need to pose a threat wherever they can, Brighton. Don't be frightened to go and play.
Shooten scored and got sent off in his dozen North London derbies, playing for Tottenham Hotspur, and of course he has managed a newly promoted side to victory here, Newcastle, 7 years ago when Andy Carroll got the winner. That was the last time Arsenal lost to a newly promoted side.
Well, he'd be desperate to beat Arsenal, wouldn't he? His track record as a player, he was quite a tasty individual as well. Put his foot in, as did his brother. So he knows both sides of the game. Been successful as a manager. Would love to get something here today.
Yeah, he's nearly up to 100 Premier League games now. Chris Hughton is the boss. Monreal here for Arsenal. Brighton will see little staging posts along the way in their battle here to preserve the point they started with. Is Iwobi, Ramsey, up to Bellerin, Lacazette now. Challenged by Bong.
Kiedo, I think, was it in the end? Just makes the silly challenge, typical almost of the striker coming back. They're all doing a manful job though defensively. They're packing that midfield, making it difficult for Arsenal.
Granit Xhaka's left foot, and you'd imagine he's going to really fizz this in there. Xhaka, Mustafi off the line, brilliant piece of work, still not away, now it's in, and it's Nacho Monreal has got the goal. Arsenal get the breakthrough. Brighton are complaining about something here, wondering if the ball had gone out of play in that incident.
Well, it's a great finish in the end, isn't it? Great ball in, close to the back post. Lacazette keeps it live. Good shot there from Mustafi. Bellerin following up nicely. And in the end, it's Monreal off his right foot. It's all defenders getting in there.
Wow. Looked like he just stayed in play. That's what Brighton were complaining about. It was Duffy who got it off the line, and Monreal with only his second Premier League goal for Arsenal, who breaks the deadlock.
Yeah, tidy finish, sorts it out quickly, hits it low. And into the back of the net.
Gross got booked, presumably in the complaints after the goal. Just to keep you up to date with that.
They want to get a few more though.
It's Monreal again.
Just inviting the pressure on Brighton.
Bellerin. Oh, it's really good work that time by Shane Duffy.
Does really well there because he has to concentrate, Duffy. That ball goes over his head. He has to tuck back in, look at him looking around him. And he gets the necessary clear.
Looking for the little flick on the near post, nothing doing that time. Will that change Brighton's mentality at all? Just confirmation of the yellow card for Pascal Gross.
Izquierdo has come into the team, giving away a silly free kick there, which won't please his manager.
Stevens, who's taken the eye since Brighton came up into the Premier League. Now that he's getting the wider audience, the first involvement here for Solly March.
Well, that's better straight away. Different mentality. Proper there, knocks it wide, and look at him. He's on his bike. He runs for that near post, and he very nearly gets there.
Might be forced out of their shell a little more. On a kick check, goes with the punch, good one too. Back in there, and he's held that under a little bit of pressure from Lewis
Dunk. Two good balls in there. Nobody at the near post for Arsenal. I think Brighton have identified they're whipping those balls in. I'd be interested in the next one, if they get another one, of course.
Here's Sanchez. And by Monreal, his first in the Premier League, only his second ever. The other one against Swansea back in 2013.
Takes
a bit of the pressure off Arsenal, doesn't it, Martin?
It does, and it frees up that creative thinking that they have and that technique. They would practice this, well, certainly in our day, we'd practice this with mannequins. We might put 20 mannequins at the edge of the box and try and find the angles, the movement, the passing, quickly, all one touch, two touch play.
Because the mannequins don't move, do they? Sanchez. Really having to man the barricades back there a little bit. Gross got that away, but not very far, and here comes the next attack. They just can't get out, Brighton. Monreal up towards Kolasinac.
The message from Wenger always used to be, move it quickly, keep it on the carpet. If you can't get in one side, come out. You keep pulling the team around. You've got to have that central player there that wants to receive it.
Xhaka with the little chip. Kolasinac, did that touch his hand? Lacazette wanted to get in on the action there. Now can Brighton break quickly? Here's Izquierdo. Good looking ball that towards Davy Prepper, who certainly was fouled by Kolasinac, a bit clumsy more than anything else.
Yeah, but it's good play from Brighton, prepared to make that run from deep. Diagonal pass, Prepper there, he gets the foul because he's had the energy to travel 30 yards up the pitch.
Who won 4 titles with Chelsea. Can he add to that with Arsenal, I wonder? And let's see what Brighton can cook up here. Gross is going to be the one to hit it. No, they've tried something else, and then Solly March! And another chance on the rebound too for Dunk, but what a hit that it was from Solly March.
Well, it's great improvisation. Everyone's waiting for it to go to the far post, and he just spins up and thumps it. He's got time and space, great technique. Really unlucky there from Brighton. Clever, wasn't it? Worked on that on the training pitch.
I'll say great free kick routine, Martin.
Very good, very impressed. Caught Arsenal napping for sure. We were looking at it, and Dunk's at the far post with Bellerin. It's a real mismatch there. If it had come in far post, they'd have still been favourite, but that was really good improvisation. Very clever.
On the rebound, the ball came quickly to Lewis Dunk. It's a pretty fair opportunity there as well.
Tough one though to guide that back in.
And the long-serving Lewis Dunk has been with the club 8 years, had an opportunity, one he wouldn't have been expecting there. The goal was open for a moment. It did come to him quickly.
Yeah, it was. It was an opportunity. On another day, he puts that in. I think he was as surprised as the Arsenal defence that ball came off the post.
March has got a lot of space out there. It's beautifully found. Prepper. And then Bruno with the cross in towards Brown, checked with his fingertips. This is good from Brighton. They're really coming back here. Izquierdo, and it's out this time.
Again, though, it's a midfield player prepared to break, which causes Arsenal the problem.
Stevens.
It's as if the goal against has freed Brighton up a little bit, isn't it? shackles are off now.
Well, I'm sure they thought, and the way they prepared for this game, for a scenario where they would go behind in the game and how they'd react to that. We're seeing something different from them since the goal went in. Prepare to march again. Solly March has already scored Brighton's only away goal so far at Bournemouth. It ended up in a 2-1 defeat, but he nearly added to his tally there. A player who was signed a few years ago from non-league Lewis, the little town not too far from Brighton.
Incredible, isn't it? He looks a decent player. When he's running with the ball, he's dangerous. Just if you can get in behind Xhaka, it doesn't seem as if he wants to get back. Doesn't have that mobility in our Arsenal midfield.
Comes the corner kick, attacked by Duffy. Mayeri just about keeping it in play. No, he didn't.
He got that wrong, didn't he? Well, was it out? Don't know if it was.
Maybe just
controversial moment there. Could be.
Could be if something comes of this. Gross in charge of all the set pieces. It's been a good response from Brighton since they conceded it. Bong hammers that into touch. Well, let's check this effort. Both posts have been hit in this game. Once by Lacazette and then this from March.
Yeah, and Donk there trying to bit flat-footed when it comes back to him, but great hit initially.
Just changed the dynamic of this game strategically, that Arsenal goal. It probably makes it a much better game for the neutral. Not that there are many of those in here, apart from you and me.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel for Brighton here that they're just quite happy just to sit off. I'd like to see them test Arsenal and try to press a little bit better. And then when they do win it, they're much closer to the Arsenal goal. Of course, they win it now, and they've got to look how far they've got to go through all these different compartments. They're doing it though here.
Izquierdo. Third in the team today to Anthony Knockout, with Mark switching to the right-hand side for this assignment. Here's Iwobi though for Arsenal. Little shove from Stevens. Iwobi very strong, still going, and he got his shot in too. Izquierdo again, invited to shoot, and it's one he won't really want to see again. Don't forget, on Friday we'll have the UEFA Under-21 qualifier, England playing Scotland, 7:30 BT Sport 1 HD, and on Saturday Chelsea ladies against Liverpool ladies. That's Saturday at midday on BT Sport 1 HD.
Just that last ball there from Izquierdo. I mean, just pass it to March out on the right-hand side.
Gross looking for the reverse ball. They're trying to get March into the game as much as they can on that side.
When he's running in that area, isn't he, just behind the Arsenal midfield, and he's showing good ability.
An errant ball from Aaron Ramsey. Years, a very, very long time. It's his 797th Premier League game in charge of Arsenal, and all being well, he will overtake Sir Alex Ferguson's record of 810 sometime around the turn of the year.
He's seen it all, Wenger, hasn't he?
Ryan was just put under a little bit of pressure there. Holding to play it back in again. Given away by Dunk. He was strong enough to get it back again, but a free kick's been given here. Some 25 yards out, central to.
Yeah, it's a throw in, and actually the keeper has put the keeper under all sorts of pressure. Good header from Holding. Lacazette there, coming back on side. It's a silly free kick to give away. I feel certain that Sanchez will want to take this on. Xhaka on the ball with him. This would do his confidence the world of good. Somehow feels Sanchez though will want to take it.
It's a good angle for the left foot though, isn't it? Well, he's got to be careful here. The referee is saying that's the blade of arse that I... Well, it's comic cuts really.
Well, I think he's telling him, if you move that ball in, well, I'm going to book you. And he's just moved it.
Yeah.
Not as far this time though.
Facing danger a little bit. It is Xhaka, and the wall's done its job pretty well. Some have a headache though. The goal scorer Monreal to Ramsey, and Lacazette's gone wide. Holding his first Arsenal goal in midweek in Belarus against Pate Borisov.
Getting plenty of games now, Holding. Shelney's going to be out for a little while. Important that he comes in and does well. So congested in there, isn't it? Sanchez just staying up the middle.
The ball was given away. Ramsey, just for a moment there, Brighton had got themselves into difficulties.
It's almost like a session of defence versus attack.
Away by Shane, the Republic of Ireland player.
Well, it really is. It feels like a training session. I mean, Duffy there, look, he just clears it. For me, that should be heading out. Throw in, not for a corner. It's a little bit sloppy. He's inviting pressure.
Looked far from Dunk's arm as he put it up there, did it? Ramsey was looking for the volley, lost his balance a little. Monreal trying to keep it going. Hooked away by Solly March for Brighton Hove Albion. Ball in the middle of the pitch though, and Dunk put under pressure, Lacazette, and he doesn't make Brighton pay. Well, they really had their finger on the self-destruct button there.
Certainly did. Sloppy pass in there at the back. We talked about him being ruthless. I think he needs to be a lot more ruthless with that finish. To the keeper.
Towards Brown. We do have Glenn Murray back from his ankle injury on the bench. He's obviously fit not to do 90 minutes here, but we might see him later.
Just a sloppy ball, isn't it, to Dunk. Can do nothing about it. Good movement from Sanchez. There's just not enough in the shot. Very timid effort.
Very relieved Pascal Gross, who gave the ball away in the first place. Comes out to Stevens. Stevens again, his sloppy pass. They've done that a lot here, Brighton, and they give up it.
But he had a ball that he could have played to Brown earlier and he ignored it.
That will drive Christian mad. It's hard enough without that. Bong. Come out to Izquierdo here. Great block. Holding. Now Iwobi. Stevens tries just to fend him off. Very strong. It's good play that by Stevens. Really good.
Does well, Stevens. Iwobi, though, just a little more craft than that. Tries to take him on for pace. Didn't have enough. Stevens does well.
Bruno won't be able to keep that in play, the veteran defender.
Again, Stevens doesn't play it forward. Brown's making some really good runs off the ball, and Brighton midfield just aren't looking at him.
Brighton playing their way up quite nicely back in the top flight for the first time since they were relegated in 1983, the year they were in that famous FA Cup final. Jimmy Miller in charge against Manchester United.
To see Brighton back into the big time, be forever grateful for making my debut with them back in '85. Great club to play for.
Yeah, I've forgotten you were on loan there.
Yeah, great good days back. Some great players back. Danny Wilson and Jimmy Case was there. Joe Corrigan, a whole host of top players. Dean Saunders even was there with me.
I've forgotten that.
You might have forgotten I played up front there as well, so certainly won't forget it.
Must have been a few injured up there.
You're not wrong.
Here's Monreal. Ramit Xhaka. Rob Holding.
He's got to move the ball quicker. It's very pedestrian.
Not an awful lot of movement going on ahead of him either. Stuff he nearly left for Inter Milan in the transfer window. Seemed to want to get away at that period, but he's back in the side there now. Ramsey. Did that go out of play? Right. There's another Brighton on ball. Breaks close up towards Pröpa. Now Izzy Brown. Mark.
I think if they get to half time with it just being one, they'll be quite happy, Brighton.
Yeah. Sanchez spinning too fast, really, as the challenge came in from Duffy.
Caught him quite badly here. Sanchez.
It's going to be yellow, yeah.
If you look, it's the speed of reaction. Look at him. He just gets really clumped there. Oof. He's lightning quick, Sanchez. It's like ABS brakes when he stops in a flash. He goes in a different direction.
He was just too sharp there, really, rather than from the defender. Looked like that anyway. Moving a bit gingerly there, Alexis Sanchez. Now Rob Holding. Who hit the post with that thundering effort in the opening moments of the game. Sanchez. It's obviously okay again. Xhaka. the eye of the needle.
No, ball wasn't on. Arsenal, of course, need to be patient, but they need to move it quicker. So many of the Arsenal players want to play in that sort of number 10 role.
Don't forget, in a couple of weeks' time after the international break, we'll be back before Score 2:30 Saturday afternoon. That'll be followed by Watford against Arsenal from 5 o'clock. As usual, all the hot debate on Premier League tonight, right after the game. It's after the international break, the 14th of October. Gross, nicely done to Gaten Bon. Took a bit too long to get his cross away. Xhaka got the challenge in.
He did, he took so long, he took an age. It was great play there from Gross. Puts him in and he's got to whip that ball across the Arsenal goal.
Well, they've had their moments so far. Brighton in forays forward. They've been sporadic. And here comes the corner kick. Oh, Czech's missed that completely. Dunk was waiting. March trying to thread a way through. And now there's a break led by Alexis Sanchez. It's 4 against 3 for the moment. It's Bale. Turning up and Kolasinac. Towards Ramsey. Brilliant save by Ryan. Brilliant.
Fantastic break there from another red arrows there.
Really good effort by Matt Ryan to save that, and it's wide by Granit Xhaka, but he's kept it to 1, the Australian goalkeeper.
Well, it's just a corner, isn't it? And it's the break from Sanchez. Bellerin giving that pace on the outside. Kolasinac as well then. The overlap. It comes to Ramsey and you think it's in the back of the net. What a save that is from the keeper. He's almost on his own there against the Arsenal attackers, the keeper. Should score there.
Just the last bit of his boot that did the job, but everything counts for a goalkeeper in that situation. Izquierdo to Gross. Gross created more chances in the Bundesliga than any other player last year. Right, for a couple of half minutes.
Interesting to say that, but he's turned his back on quite a few passes today already in the game. If he just had a little bit more confidence and a more awareness when he gets the ball, he could be a real threat for Brighton, certainly with his assists.
He scored a couple against Bromwich Albion. He's set up a couple, 2 for them so far this season. Here's Bong. Stevens danced easily through Lacazette's challenge, if that was. And then Bruno's unable to keep it in play. He's celebrating his 37th birthday today. The Rack, currently the oldest player to appear in the Premier League this season going into the weekend.
Some achievement. Takes his eye off that one. Classic, looking to see where he's going to pass it and forgets to control it.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no, hold on, don't let go. Told my boss that I'm done. Had no luck with my mom. Say, what will you do with your life? You know it's hard to survive. A cigar in my mouth, maybe guilty but proud. Now I'm an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no, hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no, keep running Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color. Standing in the way. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadows. Shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color. Standing in the way. Rising with each beat of the music is bringing. We're flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in. Welcome, my heart so full. I'm devoting myself to the night. There's no motive. We're just as
him in midfield and him just not bother to get back to him. Where's the desire in that? You know, yeah, great playing against opposition where you think you're going to score a few goals, but I think you've always got to put that little bit of effort in. And had Brighton got a goal back in the first half, it would have been deserved. I think Arsenal go on and score 2 or 3, but you know, for me, Brighton have been unlucky that they haven't hit the back of the net. And if they do, and if they manage to score next, they could make a game with this.
Yeah, they could. They're kicking towards their own supporters who are stuck in the corner. Plenty of Brighton fans in the ground today. Off the top of my head, I can't remember them playing at Arsenal's new ground before.
Well, no, I don't think they will have done unless it had been a League Cup game, FA Cup, something like that. I don't seem to remember that either. And it's been a long time ago since Brighton were in the top flight, wasn't it? In the 80s, was it?
Yeah, early 80s, 82, 83, when they were played in the FA Cup final as well, didn't they? And Smith must score and all that. So all back now with Ryan, who launches it down the touchline. No substitutions at half-time for either side.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible story for Brighton, and we must not forget, you know, the path, the circuitous route, you know, full of all sorts of rubbish. I mean, you're playing in a dog track for year upon year, you know, with no atmosphere at the Widdine. I mean, unbelievable stuff that they've had to put up with, and you know, that it's all seemingly come good now. It's a culmination of a lot of good things happening.
It's March moving forward. Goes square, little chip there by Gross, and that's a poor ball. Cech has to run outside his 6-yard box, but I don't quite know what Pascal Gross was thinking of there, really.
Well, he had an overlap, but Izquierdo bombing on, and it was a good idea, but I think a terrible execution of that. A little dink ball to put it in his path. Cech came out and got there first, quite comfortably, really.
It's Arsenal with possession in midfield. Iwobi wants the ball. 2 men around him straight away. Finds the ball to Sanchez. Brighton get back in numbers, about 6 or 7 inside the box. A little ball from Sanchez finds Lacazette. It's blocked. Sanchez will get it again by the touchline. There's a battle going over the far side, and the ball has fouled by Sanchez there on who was that wearing number 22 in the corner? Duffy, wasn't it? That shot was blocked by
I think
Dunk.
Yeah, I think it was a good block by Duffy actually, and whoever he was tangling on this near side, far side Sanchez, I don't know, but. He took one for the team there, Duffy, didn't he? And it was a fierce shot. He's having a quick recount there. Everything still there just about, but in a different position slightly. But he's happy to go again.
It's the ball forward. There's a little flick on by Brown. And more Mustafi tries to get it forward now, but it's Monreal, the goal scorer, who has possession. Little touch inside for Sanchez, little spin away from his man, right footed ball across field looking for Iwobi. It's a good ball. Can Iwobi keep it in? He can. He just well knocks the ball back for Xhaka, who goes square to Sanchez again. And he's got a little runner down the right is Iwobi, but he's not offside. They're appealing for offside, but he wasn't. He just couldn't quite get round to that forward ball from Sanchez, who looks frustrated.
Yeah, they weren't on the same wavelength then. I mean, the movement looks good. Sanchez sees him in a big gap and thinks, well, you're the man. He ran offside, didn't he? And he realises he's not going to get on the ball without the flag going up, so he doesn't bother. But I think Iwobi was the man at fault there. You know, the defence all steps up, and he's just stood in an offside position, having not reacted to it. And
yeah.
You know, and Sanchez, I think, is looking to play him in because he was unmarked. So, yeah, just a bit sloppy from Arsenal in attack there. But when you watch their movement going forward, it looks good.
Here's Arsenal again. Iwobi, he's dropping deep to collect possession this time. Moves the ball inside. 50 minutes gone, but Arsenal 1, Brighton 0. And here's Monreal, opposite rating from the left-hand side. The ball to Ramsey, goes backwards, and the patient build-up of Arsenal again. They have the ball deep, and it is a little touch there from Holding. Now Iwobi again, Ramsey just in front of the centre circle. Ramsey, a little chip over the top there, looking for the run of Sanchez. A little flick from Bruno, and it will be a corner kick after that.
Yeah, it's a good ball that from Ramsey. He sowed the seeds, didn't it? And Bruno didn't quite know what to do, just flicked a boot and was giving away a corner.
Sanchez will take it. And he wanted to take it quickly, but wasn't quite ready. Sanchez takes it now, right footed, drills it across outside the area. Chance of a volley over the bar by Ramsey. It was a nice idea, but as John has mentioned before, sometimes the execution doesn't quite work out there, with Jack Wilshere shaking his head there.
Yeah, it wasn't a good hit, was it? And most on the bench, I think, well, I might have been able to do better than that. Wasn't it good to see Ramsey back in some kind of form? I mean, he was ploughing at Bournemouth last season without looking particularly good out on loan, and you just thought, is he ever going to come back? But whatever they've done pre-season to get that bit of zip back in his game, and all of a sudden, you know, have they got that? You know, Wilshere will be brilliant attacking midfielder back in. I don't know, but the signs looked good last time we saw him.
Yeah, they do. You say he's on the bench today. Giroud's usual candidate on the bench as well. So they've got options, and it's a ball played from the right by Holding. Inside to Mustafi, now to Xhaka again. Again, more patient build-up from Arsenal. Nothing to write down on my sheet so far at the start of this second period. Monreal finds Sanchez. And Sanchez goes square, that's a good ball. Xhaka trying to get onto his left boot, little chip into the penalty area. Pushing header from Kolesniak. And it's he'll have the ball again. Back with Monreal. And they go square to Ramsey. 25 yards from goal. Ramsey, little spin and turn. Sanchez has it now. Another spin and turn from him. Now facing goal. Little chip over the top looking for Ramsey to come forward. Bruno gets the header. And they struggle to clear their lines, but March does eventually. And a chance now for Brighton to come forward. No, because it's well watched there by Holding. Now for Xhaka. And Arsenal just building again outside the penalty area. Sanchez has it. Little chip into the box. Could be a header there, and it looked to be an own goal, possibly. A little header back by Duffy, straight into the arms of Ryan.
Yeah, he needed to do something, didn't he, Duffy? So in actual fact, nods it back to his keeper, and I think it's tremendous defending, actually. And in the end, Matt Ryan, you know, it's a comfortable take. If Duffy lets that go over his head and doesn't do anything, then it's probably a goal. So he had to do something. It was risky business, but he did well.
He did indeed, as Stevens has it now for Gross. And Brighton will work again. It's Bong. Back inside for Pascal Gross. And he'll drive the ball right-footed across field to Bruno, the edge of the penalty area. He does well there. Brings it down. Has to go backwards, though, as he's quickly marshalled by Kolesniak and Sanchez.
He didn't kill it with his first touch there, and that was that. Then the next thing, he's got to draw back. He could, you know, had he controlled that Bruno, then he could have put a ball in the box. But here come Brighton at the edge of the area, maybe a chance.
They do. It was a good through ball from Brown there, but the second ball couldn't quite find its intended target of Izquierdo, and here's an opportunity, a right-footed strike saved by Petr Cech. A long-range effort there from Lewis Dunk.
Yeah, that's really positive from Dunk. He stepped up, took the ball off Lacazette, and again, how passive. Nobody wants to come and close him down, and he gets a free shot. I mean, he's a long way out there, 25-yard plus, but he really catches hold of that. It's on target, and it forces a good save out of Cech.
I'll have a recap when there's a breaking play in a second as Iwobi has possession. Moves the ball inside for Sanchez, trying to thread it through. Lacazette, Ramsey trying to get the ball to Sanchez. Little back heel, lovely ball, Iwobi, and he scored. Slams the ball into the back of the net. The second goal for Arsenal, and what a fine combination of passes that was from Arsenal. They've been building, and Iwobi this time finds himself some space and smashes the ball into the back of the net.
Yeah, in the end, it was just too much there, and it was a back heel that opened up the Brighton defence. They just got forward, hadn't they, Brighton? But again, it was only a question of time, really, about conceding again. There's so much good movement in the move from Arsenal. You know, plays bombing on and then coming short. And in the end, just a fantastic back heel from Sanchez. And then they were wide apart. It's a good hit from Iwobi.
We have a second goal at the Emirates, and it is Arsenal who's got it just to end Really, Brighton coming forward and trying to get an equaliser. They had an effort moments before that, but it's Arsenal who do score. A lovely interchange of passing between Sanchez first, then Lacazette, then Sanchez with a back heel. Found Iwobi with some space, and he thrashes the right-footed strike way past Matt Ryan into the back of the net. Moments before that, there was an effort from Lewis Dunk from range. We saw Petr Cech make a save, but Arsenal it is who go up the other end and probably put this game to bed. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0.
Yeah, I mean, you've always got to look at who's culpable after a goal goes in, who did what to who and who didn't do their job. Well, the Brighton guys are all back. Essentially, they've been undone by a clever bit of play by Alexis Sanchez. He's in the middle of the box at the time, so he's drifted in from his inside left position to affect the play. Lacazette is in a very similar position with him. Iwobi stood by himself slightly out to the right hand side of the box. As Bellerin now he gets the byline, puts a good look in the cut back in, but that's headed away by Duffy again. What I'm going to say is then that for me, Bong is marking nobody. He's a left back who's drifted into the middle. You know, you always think, well, wait, a numbers then. But he didn't affect play, and that meant that Iwobi was by himself. The ball didn't break to Iwobi; it was passed to Iwobi, who was by himself. And I think left back needs to be covering the inside right. You know, it's difficult, but you've got 2 centre backs, right? And you've got 3 attackers, so they can't mark all 3.
Yeah.
You know, the left back, the right back, when they're involved in play like that, have to keep an eye out for those guys, and they didn't.
Yeah, it's the icing really was that back heel, wasn't it? It created so much space, didn't it? That little. Well, I mean,
all the excitement in the middle. You know, as soon as Sanchez drives into the middle, you think, all right, well, Bruno would come in. There are 2 centre backs, but then Bong came in as well, and that meant there's 4 in such a congested area in the box. As soon as he got rid of that ball, the damage was done. Poor ball from Ramsey to Iwobi there, doesn't give him much chance, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, a bit of frustration there from Ramsey after a poor clearance from Ryan, which put Arsenal back into play again, and they were moving forward, but Ramsey there, he gave Iwobi no chance with that.
Yeah, rush of blood to the head, that wasn't it, and Iwobi needed the ball to feet and got it fizzed at him at about hip high, and not much he could do with that.
No, certainly wasn't. Clearance there from Ryan, as Brighton will have to come again and try and push forward. Bruno then down the right hand side for the Seagulls, back with Duffy. A square ball, a blind ball from Stevens, could have put Iwobi in, but Brighton do give the ball away. Sanchez from distance here, 18 yards out, deflection, back out to Lacazette. Can he bring the ball down? He's unmarked, he knocks it backwards outside the area. He still has it, looks for a runner, cuts onto his right boot, little touch inside for Ramsey. There's a little deflection there. Kolasinac will try and get into the 6-yard box, but the deflection goes into the arms of Ryan.
Brighton have been set up well, but I get the feeling now that with 2 goals down, there's no way back for them. And yeah, it's just allowing Arsenal to do their little Harlem Globetrotters bit, just parked at the edge of the area. You know, Brighton are just not good enough to force the pace here. I still think they might be good for a goal today as they come forward and into the box. A little shimmy and turn from Gross doesn't buy him enough time to get his shot away. Arsenal may be below par today, but unfortunately that would appear to be good enough against limited opposition.
Yeah, as Bruno comes in for trying to get the ball to March, it goes out off March and it will be a throw. You know, if Arsenal win this game easy, it's Arsenal thinking that they're better than they are, perhaps. You know.
Well, they might win it easy because they've got good players who, when they're attacking, have got enough imagination and energy and execution to get the job done. But in terms of overall team play and defending and due diligence to a game, they've been poor. You know, I think they're going to run away with the game and run out winners, but it's papering over the cracks really, and those cracks will appear when they're playing their better opposition, and maybe they'll be more sort of expansive and work harder against the bigger teams, and like we saw against Chelsea they did. But I don't think you can turn it on and off like a tap, really, and it's a bad habit to have, being complacent.
It's Sanchez breaking forward, right-footed strike, great save there from Ryan. Ball played forward. Where was a Brighton defence, though? Bruno was absolutely nowhere, and Sanchez got into the penalty area. His right-footed strike, a little tip there by Ryan. I think he got a deflection off a Brighton defender as well who's there, but where are the Brighton defenders at the moment?
Well, I've got to say that Bruno was waiting for a ball. He's over the halfway line, and the ball's played behind him, and from that moment, he's never going to get back, you know. As the corner kick comes, it's a free header headed off the line, and, well, Brighton are really struggling now when inevitably this third goal goes in. That will be game, set and match as Sanchez now breaks into the box, and an opportunity for him. Another shot saved by Matt Ryan. This time, it was an easier save straight down the middle, but yeah, this could end up a bit of a cricket score. We talk about Arsenal's complacency, but really, Brighton have made too many individual errors. It makes them look like a poor team.
Yeah, the first half performance was one to sort of really build on from Brighton's point of view, wasn't it? And this second half performance, Arsenal just showing what kind of bullies they can be, really, against a side that have just come up from the Championship. They're taking their time. And you know, in quick fire, quick succession, they've had 2 or 3 chances where Brighton have just not got out the blocks, have they, in the second half?
No, it's right. And again, it's just like attack and defence this game. At 2-0 down, I think, you know, I understand how they've been set up. Try and keep it tight. But they failed to do that. And we've given the manager plaudits, a Brighton manager. You know, if it's all about damage limitation, I sort of can understand that, but I think you've got to give yourself a chance to win the game. If you've got Glenn Murray and Knockout on the bench, you may have hoped in the first half to keep it tight, but they haven't. But I still think you deserve it to your fans and to your club to try and get back in the game, try and score a goal, try and do something. This current 11 and the way they're set up is defensive, and it may not get them back in.
Klasniak's possession here for Sanchez. He tries to move it inside for Lacazette. And Lacazette's in a bit of a battle at the moment as the ball makes its way back to Matt Ryan, but there's a foul inside there, and Brighton have a free kick. So remains Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. And Brighton have this free kick quickly taken. March finds Stevens. Bruno's ball back to Duffy and Duncan. They get themselves into a right pickle here, Brighton, defensively, and they give the ball away. And what's the referee spotted? Offside on the far side.
Yeah, I mean, they've imploded, haven't they? I don't know. Difficult, really, to you know, to get into Brighton's efforts now. We were not exactly raving about them, but we thought fair enough first half. They dug in and stuck into the game, but you know. They're playing out from the back without really the talent to do that. I think sometimes I applaud teams who want to pass the ball, but as they found out at Palace earlier this season, you know, sometimes teams are not just talented enough to do that, and if you're not, you've got to cut your cloth accordingly. Playing out from the back against players who want to get on the front foot and a front three who've got lots of energy, for me, seemingly now looks like a mistake.
Yeah, that's right. Sanchez has possession again. Brighton made a little sortie forward. March's cross was too close to Petr, and Arsenal now will just build from the back and keep hold of possession. Mustafi has it for Xhaka, and Xhaka's quickly ball forward. Lacazette tried a little flick there, and the ball will make its way back to Matt Ryan, who takes a quick heavy touch, and Lacazette was almost in there, so he clears the ball back with holding all the way back to Mustafi for Arsenal at the moment. 65 gone, Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. Arsenal dominating possession as they have done throughout the course of this game. A little touch from Sanchez, finds Iwobi, back to Sanchez again. Right footed strike is wide of the post, and Arsenal looking like they could get 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think Brighton need a plan B, don't they? And we're not seeing it yet. You know, back in the day, who did Arsenal not like playing against? It used to be big lads who were competitive, lads who played direct football, you know, the Boltons of this world at points. Nobody liked playing against the crazy gang back in the day. You know, sometimes you think, right, well, for this game only, we'll put Duffy up the top, we'll put a runner off him, and we'll launch long ball. You know, If we keep enough midfielders up, at least that'll give us a springboard. We'll be over the halfway line. They can't score when that ball's up. And do you know what I mean? Here, what they've decided to do is defend deep and play out from the back. Now, they haven't got an out ball then, and it's just allowing a sort of one-sided game of football. They've essentially they're making it quite easy for Arsenal at this point.
Yeah, they are. As Bruno tries to clear, and Izzy Brown and combination of Gross trying to get the ball forward, but it's not back all the way back to Pedicek, and we'll have a bit of a recap on what's happened. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. Arsenal sniffing a third at this moment in time, and you wouldn't be too far away if you thought that. Kolasinac had a header which was cleared off the line. Sanchez has had a couple of opportunities, one saved by Ryan and a combination of Lewis Dunk. The other one was an easy save for Matt Ryan, but Arsenal really moving the ball back really well as they break into the box again. Lacazette with an effort, but it was a block by Shane Duffy this time. The two Brighton centre halves are really putting their value for money into it, but at the moment it's Arsenal 2, Brighton 0.
Yeah, there are many ways to lose a game of football, and I think Chris Hughton might have been frightened, have been absolutely taken to the cleaners. But you know what? However the result is, however many goals they have been, they've allowed Arsenal to dominate and get in the front foot. At times, I know it's difficult. If Hughton comes down to the Emirates and opens it up and gets beaten 6-0, we'll call him naive. But here they're just losing badly in a different way. It may concede a few less goals, but it doesn't give him any kind of chance of landing the spoils. You know, you always think Arsenal, with that many changes, they may lack cohesion. Maybe one or two are playing who are tired. And again, I mean, I look at the back four with Holding in it and think, couldn't we get after him? I don't think they're watertight. But here we go, Brighton on the back foot, and here comes Bellerin over the halfway line. Playing out from the back again, as I've mentioned, when Arsenal have got three attackers and want to close down. You know, Brighton have dropped deeper and deeper. And what they were doing in the first half was keeping a shape when they were supporting attacks, Brighton, when they had the ball. It seems like they've tanked, or their players are unwilling to make those runs. And it just means that they're just not now getting out of their own half. And, well, Giroud and Walcott are going to come on. Job done then, and some of the family silver will be put back in its box, won't it? Sanchez and Lacazette, we feel, are probably those who the manager wants to put back in mothballs now with the game won. Yeah,
there's no rush from the subs to come on either, is there? They didn't look to be sprinting. I'd be stood by the sidelines there wanting to come on there, but no, it's almost a casual effect from the Arsenal substitutes at present. And here is play down the left hand side. Kolasinac will wait, try and get the cross in. It's deflected, so a header away by Duffy. It might have been Dunk actually, but here is Xhaka, finds Sanchez, tries to thread the ball through for Lacazette, gets it back. Sanchez back to Lacazette. Sanchez has it again. Bruno's with him. Now taking it into the corner, a couple of step overs. And back there for Monreal, who goes square. Xhaka, he waits, he looks up and is surrounded by yellow shirts, or that's the view in front of him. So Holding moves the ball down the right hand side instead. Back inside for Iwobi, and Arsenal go sidewards. Ramsey now for Mustafi and Holding, and now back to Mustafi again inside the centre circle. And well, we're more than 3 quarters through this game. It's Arsenal 2, Brighton 0, and they're looking dominant, Arsenal. And here's John to take us through to full time.
So how have Brighton been beaten today? Well, they failed to clear their lines, and Nacho Monreal thumped one in, and then they got sucked into the middle, and one quick heel by Sanchez released Iwobi. But really, it's much more simple than that. They've allowed Arsenal to park at the edge of their area and dominate play. Here they go again, Sanchez ball into the middle, not the best, and Duffy then just puts his boot through it and hits it into the stand. We might get those changes now. For Brighton in the first half, we thought from set piece they had a chance or two. They hit the post, but I get the feeling today that had they scored one, Arsenal would have got the 2 or more anyway. Had they scored 2, Arsenal would have got 3 or 4. and so the Gunners have only done what they've needed to do. Lacazette replaced by Giroud, and Walcott comes on for Iwobi, which is a bit of a surprise in my opinion. I did think that maybe they would just make sure that Sanchez is not going to pick up any kind of injury or anything like it.
No, I thought he played well, Iwobi, actually, in the second half. He had struggled in the first, but he was getting involved, wanting the ball and that.
Yeah, I think for me, he's just slightly below those, the peers that he plays with. He's not quite as good as the rest of those guys. Solly March goes off and Schelotto comes on. Ezequiel Schelotto. The referee having a word with Lewis Dunk and Mustafi. And that's nice. Dunk's got an arm round him. Anyway, in comes the corner. A flying effort from Mustafi at the near post to flick it forward. I think it's gone out for another corner.
Good movement that from Mustafi as well. He was being marked and he managed to sprint away from his man and get the header in.
And he goes short this time. Takes Dunk with him. The ball will come back in. They've dragged one of the big centre-backs out of the box, but the ball is too deep. And no chance for Kolasinac at the far post.
It wasn't a bad effort that really. He was floating in just a little bit too much though, wasn't he? From Xhaka there. Got a little curve on it, the bend on it, but just too heavy footed.
What would you do now if you're Houghton? Take your medicine, move on?
Well, and it all depends on goal difference, how much he wants to get hammered by, doesn't he? I think now he'd probably shut up. Not that he's been openly expansive, but now I'd certainly take Izzy Brown off and put an extra defender on. Keep it at 2.
Yeah, I think
you're not going to get. There's no change. There's nothing happened in the second half for them.
Listen, it's a 2-goal game though in the Premier League. Yeah, I'd bring on Glenn Murray and give it a go, and Anthony Knockout, and say, right, off we go. Let's see what we can do. Schelotto first touch is a good one. Finds Brown, but he's deep in his own area, in his own half, should I say. And now the ball to Gross. He controls it, then it hits him on the back. In fact, it was Dale Stevens. I think Gross has got a bit more about him on the ball than that.
Having said that, I'd probably be signing my own resignation letter, wouldn't I, by doing that with the fans.
Anyway, yeah, good ball into the box from Schelotto, but nobody able to get on the end of it. And now Ramsey comes forward. It is incredibly difficult, isn't it? You've got a losing hand. It's like playing poker, and you've got a 10 as your high card in your poker hand. Well, what am I going to do with that? You can't make a winning hand out of it.
I just think of the goal difference towards the end. Which might not work. It still might get hammered.
No, he's exactly right. If he gets beaten 7-0 here, the fans who didn't travel just look at it and say that's disgraceful. But he's taking a bad beating anyway because they're not in the game.
Yeah.
But it depends. So the fans who've gone and spent their hard-earned are thinking, well, that was a waste of time. We didn't even bother.
Yeah.
But then if he goes for it, he's naive. If he doesn't, he lacks ambition. Losing is a bad hand, and you literally cannot win with it. Anyway, Alexis Sanchez got this free kick. Difficult to be positive about Brighton. I think they're going to go down. I think they've got a good manager, but I don't think the squad's strong enough, really.
No.
And I think that's the long and short. The back, it not been easy for him.
It's still Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. There's been a couple of substitutions on either side. Arsenal push forward. They put Theo Walcott on Olivier Giroud like for like with the players Lacazette and Iwobi that have gone off. As for Brighton, well, they've gone for a more attacking sense. Anthony Knockaert has come on for Gigo, and Glenn Murray has come on for Izzy Brown. So they are going to try and get something from this game, you think, at Brighton, and boldness to them. But moments ago, we've only had one chance really. Sanchez free kick, which sailed over the bar. So with not long to go, it's Arsenal 2, Brighton 0.
So again, and I think you're always judged on your last effort, aren't you, in football? Last game, every game you're sort of scouted on if you're a player. Was he good enough? Will he not get back in the team? Oh, he's gone. All that kind of stuff. But again, Chris Hughton, for me, I applaud it. They come to keep it tight. They couldn't keep it tight enough. They created bits and pieces the first half. You know, he's made the changes again to try and re-energise and said, right, let's try and nick the next goal. If we do, maybe we can rattle them. They're only 2-0 down. You know, we've thought with the second goal the game's gone, but it's the Premier League and we know what happens. You know, somebody gets a goal back, all of a sudden Arsenal could get a bit nervous. Long ball to Bellerin, too long for him, didn't find him. I mean, anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know, Burnley this season beat Chelsea away. I know that was down to sendings off, but then got a point from Spurs at Wembley. They'd scored first, Tottenham, and then they got a little bit worried at the back end and invited it on. So a bit of positivity from Brighton. They can somehow nick a goal, and then they may just have a final flourish. It ain't over till it's over. You just ask Watford yesterday, going nowhere, 2-1 down, and with their last effort of the game, Richarlison, with a header, got them a well-earned point. I'm not sure Brighton deserved too much today, to be honest, but I did think that maybe they were good for a goal, and certainly the first half performance maybe merited that.
Yeah, they smacked the post, didn't they? They showed a few bold runs going forward. I think the second half display has been a bit found wanting, but maybe has left it a little bit too late to. I
think it is a timing issue where at a certain point he's saying, right, I'm frightened that we get battered.
Yeah.
If we were going to have an attack and a concerted effort, it would be the last 15 minutes of the game where we're probably behind. I think he may have legislated for all this that's happening right now and think, right, that's about the right time. I don't want to wait 5 minutes before I make subs at the end.
No.
Ridiculous. But in real time, 15 minutes before the end, you're probably going to get 3-4 minutes of added time. 18 minutes for his team to turn it around.
Yeah.
It's fair enough, I think.
Yeah. It's we've got to start creating chances though and using the width a little bit more. Knockaert's the man to do it, the playmaker. He's not been on the ball yet though.
No, ball fizzed to the edge of the area. It's a poor ball though, and Arsenal are able to defend it with Monreal. Ball goes back, Bruno does well, and then he looked like he was fouled for my money. But that seemingly not given. I thought it was Ramsey a foul, and then the referee gives one the other way. Bellerin brought to ground. He's not happy. But anyway, yeah, damn, he clearly was fouled by Murray. I don't know how he dare wave a finger at the referee after that, Glenn Murray.
Yeah.
He does play roughhouse quite a fair bit, doesn't he? Brighton's number 17. Like I said, Palace would love to have him back. He's probably not going to get a good reception back at Palace, is he? Playing for their arch rivals.
No. He's moved a couple of times between the two clubs, hasn't he? His second spell with Brighton, isn't he now? I think he had a couple with Crystal Palace. He can either be liked or hated by both. He's got a choice, hasn't he?
Yeah, he last time in the Premier League, I thought he played ever so well and should have been their starting striker. Just didn't come with the bags of money reputation that sort of got him regular starts, but when he played, he seemed to play well and was well worthy of starting in Premier League football, which takes some doing. Anyway, Arsenal come forward, little heel towards the edge of the area. Giroud gets it out of his feet, then Walcott. But, well, the ball into the box not good enough, and eventually Bong is able to clear his lines. Yeah, the two fullbacks for Brighton, I think, leave a lot to be desired. I think Bong doesn't normally play, does he?
No, it's Salter or something like that.
Away come Brighton over the halfway line, and Knockout looking to just knock it inside, and he was stopped in his tracks there by Holding, but and again he's trying to find Fizz a gap, and
Sutner, I was getting it right.
Sutner,
yeah,
Marcus Sutner, who's on the bench today. Anyway, Czech then just forced to clear his lines, and well, it looks like El Neni is going to come on, and who's going to go off? Guess as good as mine.
Who's it usually? Probably.
Well, it could be Ramsey, couldn't
Yeah.
it? If he now feels that they've got enough goals, doesn't need to do too much. It could even be Sanchez, really, just to shut the shop up. But here, Knockout makes a break forward. The ball doesn't reach him; it's cleared away. About 8 minutes left of this game. In terms of regulation play, it's like for like with Granit Xhaka. That does surprise me just a touch, but I suppose makes a good degree of sense. Granit Xhaka can be a hothead, but well, they've not had their feathers ruffled at all today, and again that's Brighton's fault. I've seen much better stabs at having a go at the Gunners, taking them on physically, playing a more direct game, getting stuck in a little bit. Brighton have opted to be passive today, sit back, and 11 of them playing their own final third, which has kept it tight to some degree. But because the goal came that early, I mean, it's kind of been, a very easy victory. Here come Brighton at the edge of the box with Knockout, I think, and then the ball was flicked away. In fact, it was Gross, and Mustafi put it out for a throw. I think sometimes you can work all you want in training. Look, we're all playing the final third. We'll all keep it tight. Oh, it hits an opportunity, and the header's gone just wide from Murray at the near post. It's a great ball in, and he stole a march in front of the centre-back and got his header away.
Yeah, good effort that, wasn't it? Really whipped in ball as well. Good cross that came in, and Murray got in front of his marker, Mustafi. And there's just a reminder there that Murray's decent in the air. Just got his angles a little bit wrong, but it's still into the side netting, and there you go, there's a reminder, Arsenal.
It is, and it's a reminder too of Murray's attributes just nicked in. I mean, it's in front of the near post, so to get the angle right on that is hard. Looked like a foul in the middle of the park there as Gross and tangle with Behring, nothing doing according to the referee. Behring lobs it back now to Holding, to Ramsey. Inside his own half, he flicks it forward, gets it back, looking to put in Walcott. Bong's in a good position to field that ball. And now over the halfway line, it's an opportunity as the ball goes out to left-hand side. Behring heads that one away. And heads it away from Knockout, who's playing left wing at present, as Bong now picks it up. He rolls it to the byline. Too much on that. Ball hooked back in by Knockout, didn't give up the lost cause. Looked like a foul from Murray inside the area, but Arsenal eventually able to clear their lines. Just the edge of the area, maybe a chance for a shot here. Ball now chipped up as well, but over the head of Glenn Murray gives him no chance. Knockout will close down Behring, but he will clear his lines.
Prupper seems to just let the game go by him all the time, really. I'm not too sure actually what he brings to the Brighton party here.
They've been poor in midfield. I don't think he or Dale Stevens looks of the quality to play in the Premier League midfield, quite frankly. But anyway, they've got a free kick. It's a long way out for Brighton. 5 minutes left of regulation play. Could do with something happening here as the Brighton fans behind the goal now and make a bit of noise as Duffy gets the header in. Then Czech comes out at the second attempt, punches that one away, and he did well. But Duffy is a menace.
Yeah, good commanding goalkeeping that from Czech, isn't it, really? He's dominating that area. So you're not coming for that ball, I'm going to punch it before you at the expense of a throw.
Bruno is the captain of Brighton. He's going to take a long throw into the box now, parallel with the edge of the area on the right hand side, and he can't beat El Neni, who just stabs that ball back to him. He'll have another go. Somebody needs to come close to them because he can't throw it that far. That's obvious. Anyway, the ball again fired to the far post. It's a defensive header there first by Mustafi before Shane Duffy can get there. Duffy, like we said, a great header of the ball. They've got a throw now. Knockout gets the ball back. Can he release the ball into the box? Just looking and cuts past one. Fires the ball to the edge of the area. The ball will come back in. Good looking ball into the box. Defensive header that might have ended up in the back of the net from Mustafi, but goes out for a corner. They're under the pump now, the Gunners.
Yeah, it's about time. Some decent delivery came in as well, and there was plenty of Brighton bodies at the back post there waiting for it. Murray being one of them as well. He's already shaped up to have a header there, and that was close and in needed a header by Mustafi.
Mustafi not heads that one, then I think Murray heads it in as Knockout now takes the corner kick, little flick on at the near post, an opportunity. Behring heads away under massive pressure. Duffy then flicks the ball over his shoulder, and then Bruno, he's forced to put that out of play, and they've lost momentum.
Bruno is so frustrating. No wonder Houghton's annoyed there. He had the momentum, didn't he? And Bruno just knocked it into touch there. He's not had a good game. No,
the skipper's struggled a little bit today. Shown a bit of grit and resolve there, and clearly they're strong in the air, aren't they? You know, with Murray, Duffy, and Dunk on. You know, you get the feeling had they been able to keep it, you know, really tight, then set piece is going to be their friend. And in games like this, when they're overmatched, if they can keep a clean sheet, we think that set piece, you know, can definitely get them a few points. Anyway, long ball chipped over the top. I still think that Brighton will go down, and nothing that I've seen today has changed my mind about that. I think they and their arch rivals Palace look the most likely, don't they, at the minute?
Yeah, Palace who can't buy a goal from anywhere, can they? If they go to Manchester, they concede 9 in 2 weeks. So I'm not sure whether Roy Hodgson was the correct choice of boss to go for, you know. But I'm not too sure they should have got rid of De Boer. But you know, he got next to no time, didn't he?
Well, do you know what? When he came, De Boer went to Palace and said, right, we're going to change emphasis. We're going to start passing the ball. Did they think that team was going to be able to pass like Barcelona overnight? I just think it's ridiculous, you know, not giving enough time. Anyway, ball goes out for the clearance of Kolasinac, and maybe one last chance to mount a bit of a siege with a minute and a half of regulation play and whatever. We've got stoppages which won't be that long. There's hardly been a stoppage in the game. I can only think there'll be 2 minutes, but anyway, Glenn Murray finds a pass at the edge of the area, and out his feet, Proper lays it to Bong, left hand side. His little ball back, he's not the best, but the cross comes in again, headed away by Mustafi. Been pretty good in the air today, Mustafi, as well, the ball laid back, and in the end Brighton have got to come from deep. Bruno's got to do better with his ball this time, and he finds a slightly better ball, then does well to flick it off Kolasinac, who was trying to get to him with the throw. He needs a few more options now, Bruno, and Murray's gone short. He drops it a little bit deeper, and Bruno forced backwards. So into the last minute of regulation play as Brighton are getting harried, and then the ball won by Ramsey, and he now will attempt to get close to corner flag, but eventually takes the challenge. The ball was flicked off him though, and it's good defending by Dunk. Ball comes back to Dunk, and he fires it into the middle, and that's just a little dab back by Proper. Now in the middle of the park, Stevens in the centre circle fires the ball out to the right hand side. Maybe half a chance here for Gross. It's a tired looking cross that he puts in, but the ball will break to Bong at the edge of the area, and he now just lays it back. Stevens now in the middle, looking to chip a ball into the box, but it virtually gives no chance at all to Scalotto, and that flies out for a goal kick.
Yeah, there's nice build up, but it's a little bit too late, isn't it, for Brighton? They had the chance against the post in the first half. They had a few efforts really to try and get something from the game, but the second half they've not really done enough, have they, at all? Since they've improved when Murray's come on. Perhaps Murray should have started. I'm not too sure, but if they wanted to actually get something from the game.
Yeah, I think that, you know, they didn't hold the shape at all, did they? They defended, and Brown defended with you know, his other 10 teammates. Maybe if Murray had been playing at the halfway line, you know, just stood there engaged as centre backs a bit more, it may have helped their goal forward. more likely he would have been isolated and not got the ball anyway, Murray. So it's difficult to know, really. As Bayern wins the ball, but he's got his pocket picked there, and in the midfield, Brighton come forward. Left-hand side chance for a knockout. He's got Scalotto and Murray to aim at. He flicks the ball on his inside. Ball breaks the edge of the area for Gross. He shapes to shoot, gets the ball away. Chance for a shot, and it's driven just wide. And well, it was decent enough. That was it proper with the shot? I'm not sure, but in the end, they worked the space quite well. Had they got one back there, I don't think there were in too many moans.
I felt Gross should have had a shot there, really, more than square the ball to proper, but he obviously had no intention of having a shot at all and wasn't quite that aware of his boundaries. But still, it's a decent move, but it's just a bit too late, isn't it? As the Brighton fans are, well, they're certainly giving their side vocal encouragement, but you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be a defeat, isn't it?
It was a bit like Huddersfield yesterday. Their fans kept going, didn't they? Kept chipper, but they were outclassed, and that happens in a division. But you'd rather be there than not. As Bong heads it back to his keeper, and we're in the final minute of the game, and it was not one that lives long in the memory. I mean, it's a comfortable victory. I don't think Brighton really gave himself much of a chance. They wanted to keep it tight, but as soon as the first goal went in, they had no opportunity to win the game, really. I thought their game plan was keep it tight for an hour, then maybe bring somebody on. As the man of the match, Sanchez puts the ball into the box, and in the end, Giroud with the header, it flies over the top.
First time Giroud's touched the ball, isn't it, since he's come on, really, and had an effort there which just went over the bar. But 2-0, a fair result really from Arsenal. They've been dominant, and they're going to collect all 3 points.
3 and easy for them. And in terms of the points, 2 goals, and maybe there was another one for them there. But now the referee blows his whistle, and that's the final kick of the game. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0.